I'm Amanda, and this is The Middle of It, a podcast about the messy but beautiful in between parts of life. If you found this episode, you found your place. Seriously, if you clicked on this, landed here, or pressed play right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This episode is about slumps, the quiet ones. The ones that don't look dramatic, the ones that sneak in when life is busy or good or heavy or just a little off. If you've been feeling disconnected, if you've been pulling inward, if you've been telling yourself you're fine, but something feels different, you're not alone and you're in the right room. For me, slumps don't usually look dramatic. They don't look like rock bottom. They don't look like chaos. They don't look like wanting to drink. They usually show up when life is busy, when there's a lot going on, and honestly, when things are good. And what starts happening in my head is this really convincing narrative. I don't have time for a meeting. I don't need to go. My life's going well. I'm not stressed. I'm not going to drink. So I'm fine. And that right there, that's the slippery part. Because what that slowly turns into is this rationalization that I don't have to show up anymore. What I've learned about myself is that when life gets busy, it becomes very easy to say, things are too busy right now. But life doesn't stop being busy, it just keeps going. And when we start making excuses for not showing up, whether that's meetings, therapy, reaching out to people, all three of those things are actually the same thing. They're isolation. Even when they're dressed up as responsibility or they sound reasonable, even when life looks good from the outside. So, I want to talk about what this actually looks like in real life because there's a few different types of slumps and they require different responses. First is the life is good and busy slump. That's the one I fall into the easiest. Life's going well, recovery feels solid, nothing's on fire. And I'll start to think, I don't really need to go. Maybe there is a school event, a party, something that I want to do with my friends, or I just want to sit on the couch. Something could be scheduled during one of my usual meetings. And at this point in my recovery, yeah, I'm going to choose my kids' event over a meeting. But here's the difference now. I don't let that turn into not going at all. I find another meeting, I rearrange, I go somewhere else because I know enough now to know that however I got here, whatever I did to build this life, if I stop doing that, that's how I lose what I've gained. And instead of seeing that as a burden, I've learned to see it as a flex. I get to find new meetings. I get to hear new stories, new experiences, different perspectives. It's not a punishment, it's a blessing. Second is the I'm sick slump. This one sneaks in fast. Being sick makes you cancel plans, ignore texts, go quiet, and physical withdrawal turns emotional really quickly. I've had stretches recently where I've been sick repeatedly. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice right now, still sick. And it becomes really easy to say, I don't feel good. I'm exhausted. I'm okay though, especially when I was pregnant. Early pregnancy exhaustion was unreal. I was dead to the world tired, and not going to meetings could have become very easy. But when I'm sick now, the plan changes. It doesn't disappear. Sometimes it means more phone calls. It could mean a Zoom meeting. Sometimes it means hopping on for just a few minutes just to listen. Zoom meetings are there 24 hours a day. You can pick up the phone, you can do something. And that engagement, even small, one on one with another person, keeps my brain from falling into the slump. That's the protection. That's the defense. Third, and the most dangerous slump, is the hiding slump. This is the one I take the most seriously. This is when life was good and now it's not. Things start slipping, life starts unraveling, uncertainty shows up, fear creeps in, and the thought becomes, once I figure this out, then I'll go back. Once things look better, then I'll show up. Once I feel like myself again, then I'll answer the phone. This is the slump of performance, and it's the most dangerous one because you don't back away from meetings when your life starts going down that road. You do the opposite. You triple everything. I've lived this. There was a period of time before making the decision to move to South Carolina when life felt incredibly uncertain, unsteady, scary. I didn't feel like myself anymore. And when I thought about walking into a meeting, what I felt like I needed to do was pretend everything was okay. Smile, perform, put on a mask. And that made my stomach turn because one of the things sobriety gave me was the ability to take those masks off. And I did not want to put one back on. So my instinct was to hide. I'll wait, I'll figure this out first, then I'll go. But instead, I did something different. I found a different meeting, a meeting where people didn't know me as well, where I didn't have a role that I felt like I had to play, where I didn't feel like I had to perform. And I walked in broken, hurt, raw, and I let it out. And slowly, because of that, I was able to bring that honesty back to the meeting I was hiding from. I broke down there. I was honest about where I was, about the uncertainty, the fear. And as I sat there sharing what was filling my head and my heart, I looked around the room and I realized something. Every single person in that room had my back entirely, no matter what happened next. If I had hidden, if I had never gone back, if I had never been honest about it, I don't know if I would have had that realization. And that realization changed me. It told me I would never be alone again. And I also gained a whole new group of women, women who scooped me up when I wasn't myself, who held me until I found my footing again. And even now, sometimes on different days when life gets hard, I'll go back to that meeting and lay it all out. There's a freedom in it, and I don't hide anymore. So when I talk about slumps, I'm talking about three real ones: the life is good, I'm fine slump, the I'm sick, I don't feel good slump, and the I'm hiding slump. They're all dangerous. The last one, of course, I feel like is a bit more. But one thing I heard at one of my very first meetings stuck with me. I still think about it and I share it at meetings all the time. When things get good, duck. Because, yes, when things get good, that's when defenses come down. You absolutely need a strong offense. But if football has taught me anything, and we are coming up on Super Bowl weekend, go Pats. You also need a really strong defense because if you start skipping meetings, if you start leaving the door unlocked, if you start telling yourself you don't need what got you here, you're leaving yourself open to harm. And that harm doesn't always look obvious. Sometimes it's the triggers you didn't even know were lurking around the corner. The ones that take you out when your defenses are down, when the house is unlocked, when the security system's turned off, when there's no alarm to sound. That's why people so often say, I don't know what happened. One moment I wasn't drinking, and the next I'm drunk. Something occurs. And when your defense is down, you don't even see it coming. And I know for me, my life is far too valuable for that today. As I wrote this, I looked around and saw my little palace of babies and jumperoos and Eleanor Wonders Why playing in the background. Working from home, even with a sinus infection, and this little piece of the world that's mine, it's so valuable. And it was given to me through this program, through my sobriety, through the work, through trusting something bigger than myself. And I know deeply that if I let my guard down, all of this could very easily go away. And I'm just not willing to take that risk. If this episode resonated with you, maybe consider subscribing just so you don't miss another conversation like this. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, someone who might be in a slump themselves, maybe send this to them. Sometimes just knowing you're seen is enough to shift things. And I also want to say this to you, whoever's in that slump right now. You're not broken. This isn't the end. It's the middle. And the middle is where we learn we're not alone. That's what we're doing here. Figuring it out together, one honest conversation at a time. Until next time, keep going.